Hello, hello. I did it. Woohoo. I am live. So far, anyway. So far, I've done it. Dingy. Okay. That is not stream related, so we are good for right now. So, hello, hello. Thank you for everyone who is joining. Thank you for everyone who is going to hey, Aura, thanks for joining. Thanks for everyone who's watching this in the future on Cause Talk Live or YouTube or wherever you watch it. Preemptive apology. If you hear like chewing noise, I let the dog in here and he's just destroying a toy down there. So if you guys hear it, if it gets annoying, just let me know and I'll kick him out. But hey, Junior, you're not late. I literally just started. Like I've been live for 8 minutes. So in fact, you're quite early. So okay, good. So hi everyone. It has been a while since I streamed, and we are trying a little bit later in the day. Jinx Cosplay kind of wants to try at this point. She wants to try streaming at this time. So she's like, Amber, will you give it a try? I said, I will give it a try, but this is about when I settle down for the night. So we will see if I can keep the energy up. Everyone, this is Honey Bun. She will likely cause a lot of problems for us. She is one of our 2 new kittens that we just got a couple of months ago. And she by far likes me. The other kitten is very much Mission Control Photography's cat. She does like to sit on keyboards though. So if anything, like if you see something like kitten close to the camera and then the stream like blargle blargle like implodes, it's because she's decided that she wants to lay on the keyboard. Yeah, you do. You like to lay on keyboards. It is a habit that we are so far unsuccessful in breaking. Her government name is Frosted Cinnamon Honey Bun. Frosted because she's got some white on her, and cinnamon because she's spicy. And I'm actually surprised she hasn't backed me in the face yet. And Honey Bun because she's a sweetie. And also she has like the swirls on her side, like a honey like a cinnamon bun or whatnot. I'm just gonna. Can you please? You can't be. This is why I closed you out last time. I know. I know. I'm gonna drop you. I'm sorry. So, do you not go through daylight savings time because I'm in Arizona? Right? I don't. We don't do daylight savings time, which is very confusing for me when I go to talk to my family who's in New York who does do daylight savings time, and they're like, "Okay, I'll call you at 5," and then they call me at 4, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "It's 5," and I'm like, "Ugh, why do we change clocks? Like, why is that a thing we do? Like, I understand why we did it, but let's stop. It's so confusing. I can't keep track of it. I don't like it." Aura says, I love her already. Yes, she is. For a free cat who has cost me several $100s so far, she is a cutie patootie, and I'm enjoying having her because so we have 4 cats now. We have Juno, who is our old lady, Spoop, who is our void beast, and now we have Honeybun and Theodore. So those are the 2 kittens. So as far as today, I don't have like anything super exciting to do. We have Game On Expo here in Arizona coming up this weekend. One of the things that I want to build is a conver or the Star Wars bird. Some of you might have seen it on my Instagram. Can I put up a picture? I don't know. I don't know if this is, can I, image file? Image file. Do I have a picture of her? I apologize for like the awkward face that you are getting. Oh, but, oh, here we go. Ah, yeah. So this is me in my Mando, and that bird right there on my gauntlet is called a conver. That one in particular, I'll see if I can't get a slightly different photo. That one in particular is my original creation called Sanarika. And she is a conver. Here, I think this one has a picture of her backside. Like, obviously not prepared to actually be talking about this bird. Let me go down a little bit. Nope, none of this is useful. All right, well, that's close enough. As you can see, she is a owl bird monkey thing. And in Star Wars, we see them in the Clone Wars, especially. We also see them on Lothal. But the one in particular in the Clone Wars is Ahsoka's companion, and her name is Morai. And interestingly enough, Ahsoka's voice actress, Ashley Eckstein from the Clone Wars, is going to be at Game On Expo. So I am working on making a Morai puppet. My original plan was to revamp my Ahsoka, but that is not going to happen. I don't even have a headpiece right now. Just crazy because like I make these headpieces and like I don't have one for myself. So like, you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to be working on that. I also have some orders I need to get working on. So I'm going to start on the orders. Yeah, I'm just gonna get some stuff assembled, and then we're gonna make a bunch of feathers and make a bunch of eyes. And I'll talk a little bit about my process, about what I've been up to, what I'm going to be up to. You can kind of see one of the things that I'm up to right here. You can't see it really well. Let me turn her around. Ooh, does that sparkle appropriately? Is that good and sparkly? I hope that's good and sparkly. I'm gonna put it there. You are destroying that. Can you not destroy that? That was like $10. Can you destroy the other thing that is meant to be destroyed? Look at this. Look at this poor pineapple. This poor pineapple he's destroying. What? Why? Ew, and it's got dog slobber. Oh, I have regrets. Okay, you can have it back. Oh, I don't have anything. Oh, dog bed. Okay. He's lucky he's cute. He is so lucky he's cute. Cool Gamer 4.0 on YouTube. Hi, thanks for joining us. And yeah, so those are my leku for Elira, my pink Twi'lek. I was originally I was like, oh, I'll do Ahsoka for Game On Expo. And then I was like, no, I'll get Elira done because I've been meaning to get her done for ages. Then I had delusions of grandeur and decided to make a ridiculous dress that I'm not skilled enough to be making. So it's going very slow because I have to keep like tearing and researching how to do things because my method of patterning is to like lay down and like trace myself and then like sew it together, which you can do with like spandex and 4-way stretch vinyl. And those are the things that I generally use. But I'm using like this like beautiful like silk fabric and satin. And you can't do that with those. You can't. So that one will be done when it is done. So let me go ahead and get the work camera up. If you guys have any questions, please toss them out. If you have anything that you want to know about the process, how I made things, this is not a gatekeeper session. This is a, I'm here with you guys. So, please feel free to ask. Even if it's just like, did you enjoy making this? Oh my God, there's slobber on it. Why are you so gross? Why is he so gross? So let me get my crafting camera up. You're going to do it. There we go. Okay, cool. Have you seen One Piece season 2 live action on Netflix? We are currently watching it. We're on episode 4 or 5, the one with the, well, that was in the trailer, the one with the dinosaurs. No spoilers for the season in chat, please. I will delete those comments because some people haven't been able, and I haven't watched, like I said, I'm on episode 5, but we're just talking about how amazing this show is because I feel like so many times anime live actions feel that they really need to like lean into like the realism and like tone down the anime-ness and the ridiculousness. And like, let's be honest, One Piece is a really ridiculous anime. Like it is high up there in just sheer nonsense. And I love beyond love that they have just been like, no, you know what? It's ridiculous. And that's what we're going to do it. And we're just going to like, we're going to lean into it and really enjoy it. So Ash the Zombie 3D on YouTube says, it's Amber time. Yeah, it is. It is. Junior says, are you familiar with mechanics for cosplay like a wagging tail or glowing eyes on a mask? I'm familiar with both those, actually. Yes. Oro says, I have been watching The Pit myself. Enjoyable. The clips I've seen of it are awesome. If you can stomach realistic gore effects. Well, I work I was a vet tech for a few years, and now I work at a wildlife rescue. So trust me when I say I have a very strong stomach. Like when you spend several hours pulling maggots out of an owl's sinus cavity, you either stop doing it very quickly or realize that you are fine. That was still one of the coolest and craziest things I've ever done. So this is droid fingers that I received an order for, and he asked for a C3PO paint job. So that is why they are gold. And I am just going to string them up. Junior says, your Nami cosplay looks amazing. You look so beautiful as Nami. Ah, thank you. Though that photo shoot was so cold because we went up out of Phoenix in like, it was like September, October, something like that. And like in Phoenix, it was still like 100 something degrees. Outside of Phoenix, it was like 70 degrees. And when you're used to 120 degrees, 70 degrees is suddenly very cold. So that's why there's no video from that shoot, because the video would have been just 100% me complaining about how cold it was and like shivering. So I always feel like I should have done a video though and been like expectation, showing the pictures of me looking all like sexy and hot, and then reality, me whining about how cold it was. Also, Mission Control Photography, he did the photos for that, and he got like a rash from the lake water or something like that. It was gnarly. We have not been back to that lake since. So, all right, come on, you need to work with me here. So I'm just trying to squish this on. There we go. Ugh. Ugh. Because I want it to be friction fit, but then I'm going to go in and glue it just a bit just to make sure that it stays in place. I wish I can eat anime food in my favorite anime show like Dragon Ball or Ranma. Half, would you eat any of the anime food of your favorite anime if you had the chance ever? Yes, because ramen in anime always looks amazing. And I've been lucky enough to find a couple of ramen places around Phoenix that actually make ramen that looks like straight out of an anime. And I'm just like, yes, this is my dream. So, okay. Come on. Hi, Scud24 on Twitch. Thanks for joining. It's one of the things about building props is that you really have to, like, I don't think beginning cosplayers realize, but like there's two kind of like schools of thought for building props. And the first one is just to build it as cheaply and as like material available as necessary. And I've done that. I did a Black Widow photo shoot and I made a belt for it. And I knew I was never going to wear her to a convention because I didn't have like an actual cosplay for her. I was just doing like a Black Widow inspired look. And so I made her belt out of like plastic like cup things. And it looks amazing in photos. It looked really good. It worked perfectly for what I wanted, but it was so, and I'm pretty sure it like broke immediately. It was so flimsy because I just built it for like as cheap as I could because I knew I was only going to use it once. Building props for longevity, for durability, for using them repeatedly, for costumes that you intend to wear more than once, that's different. And if you ever buy props and you see that like the reviews say like, oh, these like fell apart instantly, like that person is not building for longevity. All of my Mando stuff I build for longevity, which means that I'm using real leather. I'm using, techniques like this that will hold. And now I'm going to reinforce them with glue to make sure that they stay, forever. And it means that instead of like 5 minutes to just tie these on like a shoestring, I'm spending 15, 20 minutes making sure that it looks good and is going to last forever, which does mean that it costs a little bit more. So that's one of those things when you buy from a prop maker. A lot of times people are like, oh, I want to buy from this prop maker, but they're too expensive. And I'm always like, well, what's their quality? Because if their quality is there, then it's worth it. You're going to get a prop that you're going to have for years versus a prop that you're going to use once. I'm going to protect my mat. I'm going to be good. And I'm just using E6000. This is one of those glues that I didn't use much when I initially started to cosplay because it is a little bit stinkier. And it takes like about 15, 20 minutes for it to get tacky and hold. And then it takes 24 hours for it to fully cure. And back when I was a beginning cosplayer, I was always trying to get things done right now. And so I never wanted to wait for the E6000. Now that I've slowed myself down and focused more on, quality over quantity and speed, it's one of my favorite glues. It's flexible, it dries clear, you can get it just about anywhere. It is good across, it's glued shut, of course. It works on so many different materials, including metal, which I really appreciate. The only thing I'll say is if you're using it a lot, the fumes are toxic. So if you're doing a lot with it, you want to make sure that you're using a respirator and using it in a well-ventilated place. I'm just using 2 little dabs. I'm not going to worry about a respirator. Also, you guys can't hear me if I wear a respirator. But if I was doing a lot with the E6000, I would probably not do it on stream because I'd probably do it outside with a respirator. In fact, all those gems are E6000, and I sat in my room wearing a respirator with a fan blowing the fumes out the window because I was doing it for, I think I spent 5 hours one day just bedazzling it. 5 hours. I was like, why am I doing this to myself? And then I stepped back and I was like, oh, because it's really pretty and it's going to look really good when I'm done with it. But it's definitely one of those things where, like, if anyone that is ever like, oh, can I commission you for it? It's going to be pricey because, like, literally just 5 hours of selecting tiny gem, putting tiny gem in place, selecting next tiny gem, putting tiny gem in place while wearing a respirator, which is not the most comfortable thing. By the way, if you work with metal a lot and you do, like, you use jump rings a lot, get one of these little rings. I got this on a whim on AliExpress for like 99 cents, and I love it so much. It holds the jump ring so that you can open it easily. I love it so much. I used to get such, oh, whoops, I need to not do this yet. See, I'm talking and getting ahead of myself. I used to get such like finger tension. Like my fingers would get really sensitive from twisting open the jump rings with my fingers. And I love this ring. I've got like 3 of them because they're cheap. B, they're also tiny, so I always lose it. I never know where they are. So there we go. Voila. And it's got a jump ring on top. Pretty happy with that. And then we've got these 2 or these 3. I need to look. Okay. So what are you guys up to? What are you guys working on? What you are creating in your life. It doesn't need to be cosplay. It could be whatever you wanted it to be. Trying to get my reference photos. Right here. There we go. Okay, red. And then gold. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. This goes around here. And then it's going to go up through there. So that's about as long as we need it. Put a little extra. Oh, and is anyone else going to Game on Expo? Will I see any of you in a couple of days? Ashley Zombie says, today is my Friday, relaxing and deciding what to do. For now, just enjoying some pizza. Ooh, that sounds like an amazing Friday. Yes. Okay. I really need to figure out a better way to store my jewelry crafting wire. Especially this really fine stuff that doesn't stay coiled up. It just makes a bird's nest. Like this stuff will stay fairly coiled. Like it stays coiled enough that it doesn't really get. But always up to no good. Right. All right, and so this is going to have some wire around it, so about that much. Okay. Oh my gosh, stay over there. Stay over there. Okay, so I'm going to wire wrap. This is something I've just started getting into, is the wire wrapping. Oh, I guess you guys can't really see very well. I wonder, can I zoom in at all? Hold on. Okay, that's fine there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Camera settings. Nope. Ah. Okay. Swaggernaut says, maybe one of those plastic boxes like the ones we had when we were kids and held pencils in them. I don't know if they had a name. Maybe those can have. That's a really good idea. I repurpose so many things that are meant for other things. One of the things that I use most is I have one of those like wooden shoe racks. I keep all of my spray paint in it because the spray paint cans fit perfectly on the shelves. So that was one of the best things I ever did was get a shoe rack and just repurpose it. I'm going to try and bring this down a little bit. We're going to see. It might just block off all of my view. How do we feel about like this? It's kind of in front of my face. All right. We're going to angle. Time for another angle. Okay. Now you can see my super pro setup where I literally have just like taped this. Because this camera is super duper old. So it doesn't have any like setups for anything. So like, it doesn't have any hooks or anything like that. So I just kind of tape it on. It's fine. Guys, I'm a professional. Like, I do this for a living. Just thought you should know. Let's pull this away a little bit. Are you still whiting out? Here, let me take this off. I think it'll deal with it. There we go. It deals with it better. Okay. Well, I've got a camera in my face, but at least you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing as opposed to like a super whited out thing that like is nonsensical. Come here. But yeah, there are so many like things that I use now, not for their intended purpose. And like, I don't see any problem with that. I think that's fun. I think it's fun coming up with a use for something that's outside of its normal case. I do that with casting materials too. Like when I go to Reynolds, I'm like, all right, what is this used for? And then I go home like, what can I use it for that maybe is not on the docket? Oh, for those of you who don't know, Reynolds is where I get like my casting resin and latex and stuff. If you are in Phoenix and you are interested in learning to cast and mold, they are where I would recommend you start. They do classes, they do education. If you go in and you're like, this is the project I'm working on, they're going to do their best to help you with it and make sure you're successful. So there you go. I want to twist this once more. Nope, I want to twist it the other way. Ah. Swear to God, working with wire is such a pain in the butt sometimes. There you go. Nice little tooth. Nice and secure. So, crunch this down a little bit. Okay. Good, good. And then this dude. He gets one of these. I pulled out already because I knew I was going to need a 3-parter. And I'm just going to thread this through, tighten this up. Oh wait, I did this wrong. I need these two. Ah, come here, come here, come here, come here. Wait, did I do this wrong? Now I can't remember how I do my own props. It's not good. It's not good when you're like, how did I do this once upon a time? How did I create this? Do I have a different bead? These are, I have so many of these. So many of these bead containers. You all can't see, but there's literally a bookcase to my right, your left. That's just, I don't know if it's your left. Is it your left? I don't know. It's over there. Right there. And it's just piled with these, just as high as possible. Here's the one I want. Good. How did I do it? See, I used that bead. This is the problem when I make a new prop and then do a bunch of them and then don't come back to making it for like 6 months later. I get to doing it again and I'm just like, wait, how did I do this? I did it what now? How? When? Why? Okay, wait, no, I know. No. Sorry. Was it this one? No, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Was it this one? When I originally made them all, I did have them organized. Like they were, like these were like the spacer beads, and this was the charms one, and this was like the sparklies one, and stuff like that. That organization is long since gone. There's no hope for that to stay organized, especially when I'm like adding to it pretty frequently. Oh, hi, Mr. Boxer Man. Hey, Mr. Boxer Man. You guys want to meet my foster dog? Here, let me switch back to this. Okay. Oliver. Hey, come here. Hi. Everyone, this is Oliver. He is my foster dog. He is a 3-year-old boxer who has come to me, and you might notice as he's moving around in the background, he kind of hops. He has valley fever, so he has some mobility issues. And then, of course, Cal, who will, yes, hi guys. You want to come say hi? Come on. I know, Oliver's in the way. Hold on, Oliver. Come on, up, say hi. All right, everyone, this is Callie Pepper. This is my baby boy. Oliver is now underneath him. So, okay, can you come up? I don't know if you can come up. Here, let me see if I can get you. He's very unsteady on his back, though, so he might not. Yeah, I'm not going to try it. But yeah, look at this face. Look at this smushy face. Look at him. I am fostering him through Desert Dog Project in Arizona. So if you're interested in him, if you've like fallen in love with him just from watching him be derpy behind here, Desert Dog Project is where he will be adoptable. But he's going to be with me for at least a couple of months because he does have those pretty significant mobility issues. So we do stretches and exercises on the daily to try and get him back to where he is walking properly. But like, yeah. But this is one of those things. I know places like Mick Costumes and Easy Cosplay, like you can buy things cheaper. I get that. I use them too. I'm not going to shame. What I'm about to say is not to shame using those. But remember that those are big corporations. When you buy from me, you are feeding him. You are feeding Cal. You are paying my rent, mortgage, whatever. You are letting me take a day every week to drive him across the town, across the city, and do laser, ultrasound, all these things so that he can go back to being a normal dog and go find a forever home. So I know small creators like myself can be more expensive, can be harder to find. If you care about people, maybe next time you're looking to get a new cosplay, just think about finding someone like myself to buy from, because I can only foster Oliver as long as my Etsy helps pay the bills. Because if my Etsy slows down too much, I'm going to have to get a job, and I probably won't have time to devote to a foster like that. So, just keep that in mind when you're buying things, Give me $20, 19 of it goes to the dogs. $1 of it goes to me getting a coffee. Culture Shock says, I also have to do daily stretches so I can walk normal. Yeah, he's if you are interested on I have another TikTok called Pibblin' and Panickin', and it has some videos of him, but he's basically like, he hops around on his right side and doesn't use his left side. So obviously that is not tenable for a long-term dog. So especially because he's only about 3 years old, 3 to 5. We don't precisely know. He was found as a stray, extremely emaciated. So, now he's chewing up the pineapple. I'm definitely not taking it from him. He has so much slobber. Like, y'all, the amount of slobber he has. Bleh, bleh, oh, yeah. Ash says doggo. Swaggerna says doggo. Yep. Ash says, think of the investors, though. I know, right? My investors are Honeybun, because she's investing in getting more food. And Mr. Oliver down there. So again, Desert Dog Project. We do medical fosters. So we specialize in dogs. Well, I specialize in dogs with mobility issues now. That kind of came about accidentally. I ended up, my personal dog. What did he? Don't steal the toy from him. Don't be rude. We literally have company. Don't be rude. There you go, Oliver. Get it back. Get it back. Get it back. Anyway, I've completely forgotten what I was saying, but let me go back to the work camera. Go back to work camera. Here we go. If you two start wrestling here, okay, listen, we're getting, the pineapple is gone. The pineapple is gone. Ew, 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 ew. Ugh. Ugh. It had so much slobber on it. Oh, it had so much slobber on it. Ugh. Ugh. Do you remember how I was just saying, I guess not just saying, but how I had that owl and it had like maggots in its sinus? I found that easier to handle than I find dog slobber. I cannot handle dog slobber. So I keep telling Oliver, I'm like, you're not going to be a foster fail. Like, you don't need to worry about being a foster fail. You are not going to be a foster fail. But yeah, he's a good boy. He's such a good boy. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm going to do my tie here. And then I'm going to put that. Actually, let me pull it a little tighter on this side. Okay. And then this will go around. And up in. Yeah, that'll work. And pull it a little bit more. If the pattern to glasses headpiece is ever made available, I'll pay whatever you want me to. LOL. So Gloss's headpiece wasn't actually like I made a a sculpture and then I made a mold and cast it. So there's actually no pattern for it. But I have been thinking about providing more patterns just because with the way that shipping is, um, the getting big props to people is becoming so prohibitively expensive that like I've been kind of thinking about moving more into patterning and stuff like that. So um honestly, sitting down someday and just like doing a duct tape dummy of Gloss's headpiece and patterning off of that, absolutely something I can do. Absolutely. And I think it is tentatively on the to-do list too. So um if you want to be like if you want to know when things like that go live, if you go to my website amberbriteprops.com, there is an option to sign up for my email list, and if you sign up for that I send out very infrequent, like I'm talking you will get at most like 6 emails from me in the entire year. So trust me, you are not going to get spammed. You are not going to have like, tons of mail from me. But if you sign up for my newsletter, I let people know when things become available, like new releases. Upcoming next is definitely the Converse, probably a pattern to make your own Converse at home. And then I was thinking about doing a Twi'lek upholstery foam pattern, as well as potentially a Tagruta one. So I could absolutely, like, that would be great because for me to make the Nautilin for other people the way I made it, it's like a $1,200 headpiece just from the amount of time it takes for me to clean the molds and cast and the amount of material and the assembly and stuff like that. So I could absolutely do like, I don't know, like a $20 like upholstery foam slash foam base. Yeah, I will add that to my to-do list. That is absolutely a fantastic idea. Send me a DM. Let me know that you're Swaggernaut, and maybe we can make a deal where you like test it out for me for free or something like that, since you gave me the idea. So if you want, yeah, just DM me. Ash says, what is the most complicated, borderline frustrating commissioned item you've ever created or non-commissioned? Okay, so I have two answers for this. Answer one is literally anything sewn. I am not a good sewer. Like I don't have the mindset for it. I get very frustrated with my sewing machine. It doesn't make sense to me. So literally anything sewn, like I used to do sewing commissions and I had to stop because I was getting to the point where I couldn't make myself do them. I was like, I'll fucking starve. Like I don't want to do sewing commissions anymore. And the nail in the coffin was I had a girl who sent me measurements for a cat suit. And I'm laying out this cat suit and I'm like, I know I'm not amazing at this, but like there's something wrong with these measurements. I'm like, if these measurements are to be believed, her torso is longer than her legs. And I'm like, I know people come in all body shapes and sizes, but like I don't think this is right. So I sent her a message. I'm like, could you please go get your measurements, done at a professional like place just to make sure that they're correct. These just don't look right to me. If I send this to you and they're wrong, your crotch is going to be halfway down your thighs. And she sent me back a message that said her friend had done it and that she was sure her friend knew what she was doing and that it was fine. And I'm like, okay, I'm just I'm just saying that if I send this to you according to these measurements, here ahead of time is going to be my alteration fee. And she was like, it's fine. Like, just do it according to the measurements. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I made it according to the measurements, and I took pictures with like a tape measure every step of the way because I'm like, these measurements are not right. They're not right. And sure enough, when I sent it to her, she's like, the crotch is so low. Why is the crotch so low? And I was just like, so then I went to my page and deleted the sewing commission link because I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. And when it's that frustrating for me and the person spends all this money with me to get something that they can't use, like that was the deal breaker for me. Like it wasn't even that like oh, she was like, like attitudey or anything. Like whatever. It's your money. Like you can be like it just rolls off me, right? It was the fact that she paid me all this money and she couldn't even use what I'd made. So I'd spent all this time and energy and she had spent all this money on something that was useless. And then, like I was just like, done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing sewing commissions anymore. So anything so. And then the other answer is I had a commissioner. I'm going to be super vague because like I don't want to put this person on blast, but this person literally messaged me like every day about their commission and kept changing their mind. And like, please believe me, if I am making you a customized piece, if you send me like 6 pages of like, this is my character and this is the information about her and like, this is what I want, I'm going to read every single page and I'm going to try and like do everything that you've got. But once I start making it, like you can't then change on me in the middle of it. Like sometimes you can. Sometimes I can be like, okay, let me pull this off and do. But like it was one of those commissions where I couldn't go back and change it, and I had to be like, this was what we approved with the invoice, so like you can pay me for a second one, but that's all that I can do. So that one was frustrating for the simple fact of I don't think people have a good connection to how things are made and how long it takes for things to actually get made. Like we live in a world where you can go on Amazon and get a dress, a fully made dress in close to your size in prime delivery in 48 hours. And you don't understand like that leads people to believe that a dress is a simple thing to create. And so it leads to this idea, especially in our culture now, that things don't take time to make and that it's easy to make things. And it's like a lot of the things I make take at least days, if not sometimes weeks and sometimes months. And so like if I'm spending all day making something and you want to change it, like that's all day that I need to be compensated for. So it's very frustrating, the Amazonification of products in this world, because I have Etsy breathing down my neck that, it wants 2-day delivery. And I'm like, okay, but like the things that I make don't exist until I make them. And they all take more than 2 days. Like even this tooth right here, it takes a day to cast it. And then I need to let it off gas, cure fully. And then I need to wash it and let it fully dry. And then I need to paint it and I need to let the paint fully dry before I then can varnish it so that the paint is protected. So that like if something goes like this, my paint isn't immediately flaking off. And then it takes another day for that varnish to dry so that then I can assemble it. So like this little piece takes about 5 days. Not the whole day. Like I'm not working on the whole day, but like just the time to let things dry and the time to let things like appropriately cure and get to the stage that they need to be. You know, this is a 5-day little affair right here. So it's hard. It's hard when people, and I'm not blaming people because like I said, Amazon has made it so that like it's just normal to be able to get these things in 2 days. And it's like this is the first time in history, human history, that that's ever been real or right. So it's one of those things that I'm always kind of fighting against is I'm not Amazon. And more recently, I'm not Easy Cosplay or Mick Cosplay that have, you know, people in a Chinese sweatshop that can sew a cat suit in 30 minutes because they're incredible forces of nature and are also paid per garment, so they have to be. So, okay, so those are those 3 little things. So that'll go with this and with this out to their owner tomorrow. What's this? I'll put you over here. And I thought Con Crunch was bad. Also Amazonification, at least someone puts that issue into words. Yeah, like, and again, like I don't blame the general public for it because we as a society have become so disconnected from the people who are making things for us. The people who are actually responsible for creating things. And now we have this, you know, gigantic corporation telling us 2-day delivery, you know, get it faster, like just pay a little bit more. And it creates this expectation that people have that things don't take time to create. And they do. Like, even if like I said, that little tooth, it only takes about 15 minutes per day, but it takes, you know, a couple days just to give it time in between. So, and it's hard because like people message me and I'm guilty of this too, being like, oh, you know, I've con in, yes, come here. I've con in 2 days, but I forgot this piece of my cosplay. Can you get it to me by tomorrow? And I have to be like, no, because it doesn't exist. Oh, this is Juno. This is our old lady. Yeah. This is my cat. This is my cat. Yeah. You love me the most, right? Yep. So we have 2 fluffy tabbies. We have Juno, aka Princess Fluff Furbrains, aka the dumbest animal. I can't even say this anymore. Actually, I used to say that she was the dumbest animal in existence, and then I met Oliver, and he's so dumb, guys. Like, he's the sweetest dog. I love him. He is so dumb. There is nothing going on up here. Nothing. Zilch. Zilt. Nada. It's all going on down here. He loves you so much. He doesn't know what's going on. He has no thoughts, head empty all the time. Yes, I was talking about you. Do you recognize it? No thoughts, head empty? Yeah, that's you. That's you. Don't pull that out of the container. Don't do that. My goodness. All right, you can have it. Don't make me regret this. You already made me regret it. Right. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to work on today is the mechanism for my conver wings is going to have individual feathers to it. So this is kind of what the outstretched wing is going to look like. So this is more like that. Okay, so this is inside the body, and then this is the mechanism of the wings closing and opening. So I need to start making feathers, which is fun. I like making feathers. So I'm going to show you one way of making feathers. This is not, I wouldn't even say this is like the best way of doing it. It's just a way of doing it. So first things first, things that you're going to need. I have sheer ribbon right here. Then I have floral wire. I have hot glue. And I have another slightly more opaque fabric. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a feather sandwich, basically, or a material sandwich for my feathers. Because I want their feathers to be like soft and like, you know, feathery. You can also make feathers via foam, which I have done. Tasty wing sandwich. That's exactly right. Tasty wing sandwich. Okay, so I'm going to start by tracing out the feathers, and I'm going to give myself plenty of room so that I can trim them down. And I'm just going to leave this on the roll for right now. I find it easier to work with this on the roll than out of the roll, just because when I have tiny little pieces, they like fly everywhere. They're like gone before I even realize it. So I'm just kind of sketching them out one at a time. Technically, I probably don't even need like this guide. I just make like a certain number, but I really like how I have these set up. So I tend to, also it means I don't have to actually count in my head. I can just copy. And then these can get a little shorter. And then I will do, I'm just going to combine these because don't need those to be separate. Okay. So here's all my little feather markings. Now I'm going to take, so this is just floral wire. Floral wire almost always comes in green, but you can often find it in white. For bigger feathers, I tend to fold this over and like twist it. These are tiny feathers, so I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to measure, and then I'm going to crimp and cut. Okay, and so you can see that is, I don't know if you can see, I need to be better about working my actual workspace. So that's about as long as I need it. So I'm just going to curve it a little bit. Yep, just like that. I don't want it like super curved. And then I'm going to start cutting bits off this other material. I probably should have my material scissors, but those are in the other room. I like this material because you can see it frays at the edges. So I like to use this as part of the feather because it's going to give like a nice edge to it. I know, but like I need to work. I realize that I'm smushing you a little bit, but I have to work. There are people that I'm talking to. So like you can grumble at me, but like toxic work environment, yo. That's what's going on right here. Toxic work environment. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking for all the like bitsy parts because like, get off. Get off. Thank you. Those are the parts that are perfect to use for this. Okay. Boop, boop. Oh, and I'm putting it on the hot glue. Ah! Eek! I am not paying attention. Okay. So I've got I've got my thingy, and I've got my other thingy, and I've got my hot glue. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a line. Nope, I'm not going to because it doesn't have the hot glue in it. Harassment of the highest order, Kelly H. Right, she is not convinced that I'm not doing this just to annoy her. Okay, so oh, this is how you can tell that I left my thingy on too long today because it's burnt at the tip there. That's fine. And then I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. If you still have feeling in your fingertips, you might not want to use your finger. You might want to, oh, and I should use a thingy underneath this. You might want to actually like use like a pencil or something. That is that a doggo or a kitty being the pester? It's this one right here. It's this one on my lap. It's the kitty. Her name's Juno. She is currently annoyed that I am daring to move about while she is trying to rest on my lap. So she is a little annoyed with me. Okay. See, if I didn't have a cat in my lap, I would go get my fabric scissors so that I don't embarrass myself by not being able to cut organza. Is this organza or is this chiffon? I don't know. Don't ask me about these things. See, I don't want to use the white because it's too, all right, well, I'm just going to glue it to the mat and have to scrape off my mat later. Okay, but you can see that now I have a sandwich with a kind of firmer center. The hot glue is going to keep this from being overly flexible. If I want feathers that are super flexible, I'll use E6000 right here. Like if I'm making feathers that I know are going to bend a lot, I wouldn't use the hot glue. I would use the E6000. But I want these to be a little bit stiffer because I want them on this mechanism. I want them to kind of maintain their shape as it's going in and out. So I am specifically using the hot glue because it is a little bit stiffer to provide a little bit of structure to what I'm doing. So that is my thought process there. So then we'll go here, bend, yep. And then I'm going to slightly curve, boop, and then, oh my gosh, there's too much stuff over here. What did I just do? Okay, we got it, we're fine, everything's fine. Okay, put this in here, and then dish, boop, boop. And again, if you have feeling in your fingers, use like, I don't know. Oh, you could use a Sharpie. You could use a Sharpie to press it down. And you just want to make sure that the glue is on both sides of the support structure that you have, because you don't want the feather to have the wire like pop out in the middle of it. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put paint. So I'm trying to make feathers that have a very subtle coloring to them. So I'm actually going to bring this up and paint here between, and then use the E6000 or even Fabri-Tac, because Fabri-Tac works well for this too, to glue the two sandwiches together. And that'll trap the color inside and create like a really nice, like subtle sort of color effect. So if I want something that's a little bit sharper, starker, brighter, I would glue them together first and then add the color on top. And that's the other thing about using the two different types of material. You can see on this side, it's more opaque. This side is less opaque. So this side will probably be the side that I have facing front because it'll show the color through better. So, yep. Ash says, did you mention a gaming event earlier, tabletop or video? If I misheard, then the question becomes, what games have you played recently? Okay, so sort of. There is a convention coming up in Arizona this weekend called Game On Expo. So it is a convention that does have more of the gaming slant. So I'll be going to that. I believe that they have tabletop and video tournaments there. I won't be playing. I'll be cosplaying. And I'll probably only be there for a little bit on Saturday afternoon. It's a good con. It's just not a very cosplay centric con. So it's not like I don't have a table or panel or anything like that at this one. As far as games that I've been playing, I'm the type of gamer that finds one game that I'm obsessed with and plays that nonstop. If you look at like my Steam profile, it'll be like I have like something like 200, 300 something hours in Subnautica, which is like a 10-hour game. It's not even multiplayer. But like if I find a game that I like, I just like play that game over and over and over. A couple of months ago, it was Repo. I was playing Repo pretty much nonstop. Right now, it is a game called 7 Days to Die. It is a zombie survival / sandbox / tower defense game. So it's a zombie survival game. And then the added mechanic is that every so often, and default is 7 days, which is why it's called 7 Days to Die, there is what's called a blood moon, or at nighttime, the zombies become super strong and super fast and know where you are. So the idea is that you spend days 1 through 6 leveling up, doing missions, et cetera, and then you build a base so that in the night of day 7 or whenever you have it set to, you can set it to every night, you can set it to 5 days, you can set it to never, whatever. The horde comes and you have to fight them off, and it's basically endless waves of zombies that are trying your defense. So I am playing that right now. I have a save right now that I have several hundred hours in, unsurprisingly. And I have a horde base in almost every biome. There's 5 biomes. They go from easiest to hardest. And so I have a horde base in almost every single biome, and they all have like different shticks to them. Like I'm working on one right now in the snow biome, so it's like the winter biome. It's in a cathedral, and I'm calling it the Holy Spirit base because I've set up rows of pews and then rows of electric fences. And when the zombies hit the electric fences, they get electrocuted and they go like this. So I have a row of pews and an electric fence, and then a row of pews and electric fence. And so like the idea is that they hop over the pew into the electric fence, and then they're like in front of the pew in the cathedral. So it's like the Holy Spirit base. And then I shoot them, or the turrets shoot them because I've got tons of turrets. But yeah. The other base I've been working on or just finished, we call it boot camp. We took over a uh, like a shooting gallery paintball like arena. It's like this big fenced in area with all these like different buildings and vantage points. And I basically created like a obstacle course that you can kind of like run around and run them through different buildings that have traps and stuff like that. And you stay up on this platform so they can't reach you, but they keep chasing you because they're trying to get to you. And you just run them through the traps. And like one is like it forces the zombies to crawl so you can shoot them in the head. So that's like the army crawl. So yeah, that's what I've been doing is building bases to kill zombies in 7 Days to Die. Which is one of those things where I'm like, I want to take somebody who's never played 7 Days to Die and do a new horde base every night and just do like 5 hordes, 5 bases, 5 nights and see how many times they die. Wouldn't that be fun to put Sam through? Like, Sam, I know you've never played this game, but let's literally do like the hardest mode of the game. And I'm going to give you very little instruction and you just have to not die. That would be hilarious. Especially because it's Sam. So you know she's going to like catch on super quick because, you know, she's brilliant. Oro says, I had fun when we played Repo together. Yeah, I got pretty good at Repo. I'm not a great gamer, loves. Like, not great, but I enjoyed my repo phase. I had fun with that. I love the zombie games. Ash, have you played 7 Days to Die? If not, you might think about it. It's definitely a survival game, though. So like you've really got to like survival games. 7 Days to Die, 5 Nights at Amber's. Yeah, that's what I should call it. Can you survive all 5 nights at Amber's bases? But like the only thing is, I think I do a pretty good job of making really good bases that like it's really easy to stay alive as long as you don't do anything real dumb. Like just don't run off the base. Like don't run away from it. See, I keep putting it off. Get it off. Get it off. Don't glue my fabric. Hey, better than I don't think I booted up once even after that. Yeah. Repo is one of those games that is way more fun with people, which was the worst part about having it be my like obsession game was that I wanted to play it nonstop. And like all my friends are like, actually not that fun over and over and over again. And I was like, yes, it is. It's so fun. Let's grind it for all night. And yeah, it is sometimes hard being an ADHD gamer who just wants to hyper focus on one game. Especially because Mission Control, who is my normal gaming partner, is definitely more of the likes to play different games type. And he always has to put up with me being like, okay, for the next 3 months, this is the only game I'm playing. For 7 days, I have 75 hours according to Steam. Awesome. Did you like it? I'm just curious. It is okay if you didn't. It is definitely a game that like I feel like some people kind of bounce off of. Like my niece really loves games where she like shoots zombies and stuff like that, and she did not like 7 Days to Die. Like she bounced right off it and was like, no, I don't want to play that again. And I was like, so glad I just spent $30 buying you this game that you have now played 6 hours, so I can't return it, but you're never going to play again. I was like, damn it, child. No, if you're going to like the game faster than that. Oh my God, Juno, I'm so annoyed that I let you lay down and now can't get up because I can't offend my cat. But yeah, I realize the feathers look pretty rough like this. I'll have to post on probably my Instagram story what they look like when I fully finish them. So if you're curious to see what it's going to look like once I've like done the painting and stuff like that, stay tuned on my Instagram story and you'll see. But like I said, I'm going to paint in between. I've got Liquitex, I've got some shiny paints. I might brush mica powder onto them as well. And then I'm going to cut this. Then I'm going to Fabri-Tac them, and then I will cut them to shape. So it'll be, again, this goes back to the whole like things take time to make. Like I'm going to spend several hours just making feathers for this bird puppet, you know? Also, for anyone concerned, this is a low temp. So like this is not actually, like this hot glue is not actually that hot. Also, I realize that I keep doing it. I need to like draw a box. I wish the camera like projected a box on the thing to remind me where I should be like working, because I feel like I like wander across the board too much and then you guys are left watching me like work off the corner, which is not as exciting. I quite enjoyed 7 days. It really depends on the group. My group is too erratic, just like scheduling D&D IRL with other adults. Yeah. Yeah. I generally play it solo, and kind of like what we've done to kind of fit the fact that I play it nonstop and Mission Control only wants to play it every so often is that I control the game and I just kind of do what I want to do. And he joins me when he feels like playing. So his character, I, got loaded up. Like I made all the gear and all the biome gear and everything like that for his character. All right, bye. Now my lap is cold. I don't know if you can see her fluffy ass walking away. I think it's too dark down there, but yeah, she just walked away from me. Yeah, so I made all the stuff for his character and then got his character like a motorcycle and stuff like that. And then he just joins me, logs in wherever he is. He just hops on his motorcycle and rides over to where my character is and joins in on whatever I am up to that day. What happened to my thingy? Did I not cut one? Ah! Not prepared. Not prepared. Okay. There we go. Cut this. Oh, I guess this is one way you could do it too. You could literally just put that thing down and cut it. Cut the wire once you know how much you need. Tarot Bard says, are you crunching for Game On? Yes and no. I want to get this done for Game On, but if I don't get it done, I'm not gonna like sacrifice my sleep for it. I'm over con crunching. I don't do that anymore. I like my sleep. At this point, I've done the con crunch so many times that like I can't anymore. I just can't. It's too much. It's too much. Can I please have some of this? Thank you. I guess I could go get my fabric scissors. Oh, okay. I'm actually over on time, but that's okay. I will probably wrap up in the next 10 to 20-ish minutes. So if you guys have any questions, any thoughts, anything that you want to know or ask or anything like that, now is the time to make sure you get those into the whatever chat field thingy. So boxes for friends who may or may not log in, such as life in these survival games. Yeah, you kind of have to just be like, I'm just going to play and stuff. As for the box and frame you are considering for the camera, I think that is an overlay you can do with OBS depending on the stream. No, I mean like it like projects it onto like my workspace because I can see where it is on my screen. But when I'm down here, like now I'm working over here, you guys can't freaking see anything. So I need something like here to remind me where to work, so that I'm not like making you all watch nothing. I mean, like let's be honest, like you're not here to watch like every step, or most people are not here to actually watch the stream. They're here to hang out and chat and stuff like that, which I really, really, really appreciate. Thank you for joining no matter what you want out of this stream. For those people who do want to see what I'm doing, I need to remember to be in frame so that they can see what I'm doing. Overhead projector flashbacks. Oh yeah, that sounds, overhead projector sounds like something that would fall on my head probably in the middle of stream. I'll be there all weekend with Con Air Radio in the hall outside of the main downstairs. I will try and stop by then. I will likely be there Saturday. I don't know if I'll be there Sunday. I had originally planned on going both days, but I'm tired. And then for this one, I'm just going to do, because this one's the closest to the inside, I'm not going to do a wire. I'm just going to do 2 lines of, to give it a little stiffness, but not that much. So it folds nicely. Get underneath there. There we go. Honestly, I'll probably regret the fact that I did the 2 lines, but oh well, if I remake it, I remake it. So, okay. So there's 1 line of what will eventually be feathers. Eventually. It's always one of those like, trust the process. Trust the process. That's why I stopped doing cosplay mostly. I'm too old and too tired. Yeah, I see these, I see others of my friends who are like, oh, I've got only 3 costume changes this weekend. And I was like, that sounds terrible. That sounds like a nightmare. I am definitely not doing that. No, thank you. No, thank you indeed. So, all right, chase these. See, that's why I like having this, because I don't have to keep count. I just keep moving it. I've been a little slow because I've been talking to you all, but normally this would let me just like whoosh, right by it, right through it. Come on. Okay. Tarot Bart says, in an old man voice, back in my day, we did 1 cosplay a day. We liked it. I've always known people who do like multiple cosplays per day, and I've always been like, no, no, thank you. I guess I've started old. Never had a young bone in my body. I think that's mostly just the ADHD, though. Okay, all right. Let me hack another line from here. When I say hack, I mean hack. These scissors are atrocious on this material. It is a good thing that I am planning to cut said material quite aggressively. You will not see how bad Like, look at that. That's so bad. Rockabilly Fireman says, I don't stress the cosplay changes since it's kind of a bit too much for me. Might do 2, if not 3, if I go all 3 days, but I like to do 1 and enjoy doing other things for the rest of the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Like, who wants to be like running back and forth between like your hotel room and the con continually, like having to change? Like, you're just missing stuff at the con. So, um, do you use 3D printing at all or sculpt? I do use 3D printing. Yes. My Poison from Street Fighter, her cosplay, the hat decal and the belt decal, I did myself in Blender. I do not like it. I do not. If I can make it with my hands, I'm going to make it with my hands. And that's not like a dig on 3D printing or anything like that. It's just Blender confuses the crap out of me. I know I can do it. I did it. I made the things for Poison, and if you go look at them, I think they're pretty good too. Like, I think I did a really good job, but I spent 4 or 5 days making those, and then I finished the cosplay, and then I started my next cosplay, and I went to make something in Blender, and I was like, I don't remember how to do any of this. I don't remember any of this. So like my brain just does not keep it in there. Like as soon as I'm done with it, it like flushes it instantly. So I keep joking with Mission Control photography that I am like one of those like old geezers that's like, in my day, I'm I'm too old for all this newfangled technology. That's me. I'm like, I'm too old for Blender. I'd rather just make it myself and then make a mold out of it. Cast it that way. It does suck a little bit though, because with the rise of 3D printing, it has really hurt my business. Yeah. Like I used to sell a lot of like Zabrak horns and stuff like that, but now most people have a 3D printer at home. And so they can just make their own Zabrak horns. And I've definitely seen those go from one of my best sellers to I'm lucky if I sell one in a month. Like maybe not that bad, but like I definitely can look at my sales history and be like, oh, that's when 3D printers got prevalent. Though, oh my gosh, if you 3D print things, don't. If you 3D print things and you have a prop maker friend who makes something in particular, please don't talk to them about how you can 3D print what they make for cheaper than they sell it. Like, I was like, oh, thanks. Like, I didn't know what to do because I was just like, is this a conversation I need to be here for? Like, can you just congratulate yourself on not having to give me money on your own time? Like, I'm really glad that you can make what I make, but cheaper. But maybe don't say that straight to my face. I I'm well aware that you can make what I make nowadays. Like, trust me, I know. Uh, yeah, that's a slap in the face. Yeah, and like he didn't mean it in like a oh ho ho, I don't have to pay you sort of way. He was just like, oh, this person also makes horns, so like I'm gonna talk to her about, these things that I can now make. But like it was just very awkward for me because I'm like, I like eating, right? Like you, you, I like having a house, right? But that's It's one of the interesting things about cosplay is how for some of us it's a livelihood and some of us it's just a thing we lark about. And when those two things intersect, sometimes it's a little awkward. Or in that case, very awkward for one of us who was just like, can I leave this conversation? Like, I want to go somewhere else. Yeah. All right, I'm going to glue these next few and then I'm probably going to go be done. Take my contacts out, chill for a little bit. I got to make dinner. Ugh. Y'all, what should I make for dinner? I don't want to make dinner. Sounds like so much work. So much work. But yeah, as I'm starting to wrap up as a kind of quick summary, I will be at Game On Expo on Saturday. Look for me in a blue Twi'lek. It'll either be Ayla or it'll be Rio. I haven't 100% decided. I haven't worn Ayla to a con, so I kind of feel like wearing her. But also, like, Rio is a favorite. And I always, always, always enjoy opportunities to wear Rio. So, like, might just wear her. Then after that, the next con I will be at will be Phoenix Fan Fusion, also here in Phoenix. I will most likely have panels. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I will have an update. I know one of my panels is Saturday at 4:30 because that's the one I'm doing with Thermo Cosplay, and she already got the time back. But I'm hoping to do a couple more panels. It'll depend. I was late submitting them this year, so there is the high possibility that I will literally only have whatever panels Sam is on, or whatever panels I can piggyback with Sam. That is a big possibility, that's for sure. But you can find me on my personal website at amberbriteprops.com. And if you are interested in anything that I've been talking about as plans, either the Converse or patterns or whatnot, please remember that you can sign up for my email list for early notifications about that. And I promise you, I will not be spamming you because genuinely, I forget that my mailing list exists until it's like, I'm like, oh, I've got this new thing that I need to get out. So like, there will be no spam, none whatsoever. I promise. And if you are interested in meeting me at one of the cons I talked about, like I said, Game On, I'll just be roaming around. Phoenix Fan Fusion, I'll have my panel schedule up a little bit closer to Phoenix Fan Fusion. I will probably also be going to Tucson Comic Con a little bit later in the fall. I love Tucson. I didn't get there last year, so I definitely want to get there this year. And then potentially YumaCon, because again, I didn't get there last year, but I might make extra effort to get there this year. Ow, 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 ow. That hurt a little bit. I got a 3D files for Star Wars. Just waiting to get a 3D machine. Wouldn't mind having you make me something. Yeah, Rockabilly, just either email me at amber@amberbriteprops.com or DM me on one of my pages. And my 3D printer is not being used right now. So as long as you have the file, I can talk to you about how you want it printed and finishing and stuff like that. That is no problem whatsoever. I'm not going out of my way to print things for people, but I that's absolutely something I can do. That's no problem. But yeah, so follow me at amberbriteprops.com on Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok. Also on YouTube, Amber Brite I think it's just Amber Brite on YouTube because I keep forgetting to add the props to it. I do have a Twitch that I'm going to hopefully, I keep saying this. Who believes me anymore? I'm hopefully going to start streaming probably during the day. But worst comes to worst, if you enjoyed this in 2 weeks, I think it is, I will be streaming again. Maybe at this time I will see. This is really late in the day for me. Like, I am tired, y'all. And I just talked for like an hour and a half straight, and I'm tired. But my next streaming is on the 26th. So it'll either be at 5 or at 7 Arizona time, depending on how I feel about this tomorrow. So if you have any preferences, like if this worked really well for you, if you think 5 o'clock would be better, like please let us know in the comments. Please, like DM us or whatever, either on Cause Talk Live or on my personals. If everyone is saying that this works so much better than the 5 o'clock, then we'll stay here. Let me switch back to just this. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you spending some time with me. I really appreciate the questions, the comments, the stories, you appreciating my stupid animals who are finally passed out. So I can't even like get one for you for goodbyes because they're finally asleep. But thank you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Here's your homework for this stream. Between now and the next time I see you, I want you to try something new. I want you to try something you've never tried before. And then I want you to report back to me as to how you liked it, how it went, what you tried, et cetera, et cetera. So that's your homework. I do not grade on a bell curve, so do a good job and don't count on other people not doing a good job to ride the bell curve. Okay. All right. Once again, at Amber Brite Props across various things. Email me, DM me if you have any further questions. I will see you in 2 weeks or in 2 days if you're going to be at Game On Expo. So, yeah. Thank you all. I hope you have an amazing night. Don't forget your homework. And I will see you all next time. Now let's see if I can actually end the stream successfully. We're gonna end the stream. That's an outro video. Okay, we're just gonna end it. All right.